You, Charlie, what a great title and what a great story. The objective of this speech was to understand the techniques available to arouse emotion and to become skilled at arousing emotions while telling a story. It was also important for the speaker, Jack, to directly or indirectly evoke feelings in us, emotions in us, to identify conflict in the story, and to tell a good story. Jack, I thought that your story built very well from the beginning. You laid a foundation at the very beginning. You used the event of Thanksgiving, which is a time when we all get together to build, to remind ourselves of how much we love each other, to have time with the family members, to really enjoy our time together. I thought it was a perfect event to tell a story like this, which also evoked conflict for us. The role of Grandpa as the observer of Charlie's treatment began to form an opinion about Charlie. After you told us everything about how Charlie came into the family, how the other cats treated him, how the children treated him. And Grandpa was interacting with Charlie. He was making attempts, he was petting him, he was getting clawed, he was getting bitten, and he was observing and he was making some decisions about what he thought about Charlie and Charlie's life there. There was a lot of inner conflict going on. Charlie had inner conflict. He tried to love and kiss, and then he'd bite. The children had a little bit of inner conflict, and even Grandpa had conflict with what to do about Charlie. There were some phrases you used I really liked. A package deal, when they took Charlie home along with the other cat. Perpetually dirty was a wonderful one. And I love the way that you smiled throughout as you talked about Charlie in an affectionate manner. The characters. It was important in a story to build characters. I thought you had a very good development of Charlie, and I could actually see a longer speech coming out of this in the development of Grandpa too. The conflict between Grandpa and Charlie, the conflict for Charlie within himself, and the conflict of Charlie with the cats was always all very well developed. The action that you took near the end was the action of Charlie being taken home by Grandpa. It wasn't obvious that that was what was going to happen, but it also wasn't shocking. It was a wonderful conclusion that made us all feel really good. Not just for Charlie, but for Grandpa too. And I didn't think that you used melodrama too much or anything was too obvious in the speech. Like I said, I thought everything that you did in the speech was very well developed. The one thing I would like to see you work on is your breathing when you're up here speaking, and get the breathing going much more smoothly. I think that it would also help you with knowing what's going to come next. You didn't use any notes. That was all fantastic. That would be the only thing. I thought the story was very well developed. This is a story about writing as much as it is about presenting. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more of your speeches and stories.